Hi, I'm Ajay Mohan. I'd like to begin with saying that I'm really excited about this opportunity at Aurea as a Senior Technical Product Manager. Today, I'm going to present the architecture of CRM Analytics, a template for a product requirement document, and the workflows that will stem for it for the PDMs to execute the project. To begin with, I'll give a brief introduction about myself, a little bit of background. I'm the founder CTO of Ishi Systems, a product design and development firm. I'm really passionate about products and innovation. In past 20 years, I've delivered several B2B, SaaS, and B2C products, and I have a 15 plus years of technical program management experience. And since I'm a technologist at heart, I love to work with people in the trenches um and solve problems along with them. My focus is on customer intimacy and user empathy. Most of the systems I've built, I use that approach to get insight for requirements and building the right system. As a leader, I have a people first approach, that is who before what. I have multi-generational experience which I can bring to the team, which span technologies from core bar to J2E to Web 2.0 and service-oriented architecture and now microservices, cloud, and serverless. Finally, I believe in open systems and open source. So that's about myself. So now let's look at CRM analytics. So we're going to discuss today about the functionality, data definition, and high-level architecture of CRM analytics. So we're going to start with the customer value proposition and objectives of CRM analytics. So CRM analytics is a product that is geared towards the end user, the customer journeys for end user of Aurea customers. Um, so idea is to create an extraordinary customer experience for the end customers of Aurea clients through cross-functional collaboration using um, machine learning based discoveries and analysis. So the business impact CRM analytics is trying to achieve is to deliver well-crafted, well-executed customer journeys via collaboration. And second impact is personalization. The whole idea is that through uh, collaboration, we can create very personalized experiences for our end users. For example, if we know that one specific customer support uh, associate has been very effective with a particular customer, so when we are creating collaboration, we invite that particular person into creating the journey for the specific customer. So next is the product team objectives, which is uh, what product team is tasked to do and what their goals are, and that is first is rapid development and uh, user validation of minimum viable product. Second is provide some room for experimentation and pivoting since it's a new product. And finally, to keep it fast, simple, and low capex development. That means MVP, don't build commodity services which we can use in a SaaS model or a services model or even license it out and so on and so forth. So scope. Um, so the scope is around creating, as I've mentioned earlier, is to create a great customer experience through cross-functional collaboration. Second is to balance the development with standardized CRM integration, which means that we can assume rich schemas available, which with the CRM system we're going to integrate. So that assumption is made. It needs an ability to ingest third-party data sources, so we have to factor that in. Um, we also need to build a rich customer journey visualization to facilitate collaboration. So the and we'll talk about this as we go further, that how the customer journeys are going to be initiated and how they're going to be owned. And finally, use uh, machine learning or any predictive analytics to discover collaborators. That's the key to find the right people for the journey. So our approach is going to be MVP approach, as I mentioned earlier. It is minimum viable product. We are building. We're going to be focusing on the business value versus trying to think ahead in terms of scaling or adding additional features and so on and so forth. Um, and also, we're going to assume that pilot customers will have rich data sources, either as big data CRM stores, or they have subscription data or other data available to them, which is being streamed in our real time, or um, some form of ETL is there. Uh, and the idea is going to be not to focus on operational user experience at this point in time. That is, keep it simple. For example, if you want to enroll collaborators, so we can do through simple emails versus creating a visualization for that and trying to create a whole user management part of it. So this leads to certain requirements, high-level requirements and decision. And the first one is loose coupling, which means that with loose coupling with CRM systems, which means that we can ensure multiple CRM integrations. That will be strategically good for market penetration as well. And the next is to facilitate client adoption. The CRM analytics will not require any major configuration needs vis-a-vis existing CRM platforms which the customers are using. Next is high usability in terms of not assume that users will understand data or importance of data has come to them. So we have to sort of highlight the data so that to provide ease of use for user action as well as user consumption. Next is smart collaboration. What we mean there is that customer journeys or interactions can be interpreted and stored in the system, and they can trigger off a specific series of actions by the collaborators. System needs to be flexible in terms of a deployment. That is, customer should be able to deploy on premise or cloud. And finally, extensible in terms of not assuming that particular products would be used in a specific way in a specific journey. Try to decouple that idea, and we can compose journeys with multiple products and services, and we'll see how we can do that as we talk further in the presentation. So now we're going to talk about the key data definition or key elements, and the first one is user or the collaborator for that matter, typically cross-functional. Next is function. We need to see what functions are we trying to sort of integrate to create the collaboration. For example, pre-sales versus marketing versus customer support and so on and so forth. Create an idea of the product, that how to capture the concept of product. Customer profile in terms of whether it's a new customer or an existing customer, or there is a loyal customers, and that will lead into things like loyalty management and advocacy or referrals and those ideas. Next is the customer journey. That's an idea which is basically going to capture the customer interaction, and the way we are conceptualizing it is templated to choreograph the collaboration. And this customer journey will support several phases, and we are right now enumerating the initial set of phases, which is evaluation of the product or service, selection, purchasing, support, loyalty management, and when customer is advocating the product or service on our behalf, on our customer's behalf, in terms of referrals and so on and so forth. And finally, signals capture important data elements, and they also become triggers for collaboration in the system. Next is persona. So we have identified 4 key personas. One is the journey owner. He's the one who would be orchestrating or owning the customer journey, will initiate. Second idea we have is the idea of journey designer. To keep it simple, we are saying there will be somebody who understands the domain or the customer journeys well and can encode it in uh, a template using JSON or something simple like that. And third idea is that of a collaborator, which is any user uh, who is going to be part of the customer journey in terms of as a collaborator. And finally, administrator of the system who would be able to do some administrative tasks, which is security, user provisioning, and so on and so forth. So now we will talk about user stories. Uh, so the 2 key stories on the analytics side are analyze the customer journey, which basically will analyze the data in a customer journey template or a map, and basically give recommendations in terms of collaborators. Second idea we have is that of a mining signals or triggers for that matter. The idea is either we can explicitly give some data to the system and ask to mine data in terms of signals it can find, or our system can be proactive and be configured to do batch processing periodically to create some signals which are valuable in collaboration. So that any event happens, uh, system can trap it and then sort of give that as an input in a specific journey or set of journeys. Next is collaboration, and in collaboration, 2 ideas. One is visualization of the collaboration, where we can, as a journey owner, you can visualize the customer journey for specific customers, or you can visualize a collaborator recommendation and analysis why those collaborators are the right people to be part of the journey. And second is a collaboration choreography, which essentially is to initiate the customer journey. Um, so as a collaborator, you can either send signals to other collaborators, or you can broadcast, as a journey owner, you can broadcast email invitations to initiate the journey. Finally, journey templates, which are, as I mentioned earlier, is just usually a experienced manager or somebody who understands the journey and the domain or the products can be able to encode it using